The story is I stole from a museum as a child, and I don't mean from the gift shop.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun-dun-dun. When I was a child, around 7 or 8, I
Wait,
went on
I'm
a
so
school
sorry for interrupting you. I read this as I stole a child from
Oh,
the museum.
I stole from a museum. I
I
stole a
thought the
child.
story was I stole a child from the museum.
Mata.
I
It's a totally
swear.
different story.
I thought the story
This
was.
time on true crime.
Hello, and welcome to Trashlight Confidential, the show where we react to your juiciest stories and trashiest confessions. If you'd like your story featured in one of the upcoming episodes, make sure to submit one below and remember, stay safe, stay confidential. I am your host, Matara Khan Independent, double D's, triple threat. What threats are those? You'll find out on today's episode featuring the singer, the voice actress, the VTuber, Amalee.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence on the first ever episode of
Yeah.
Trashlight Confidential.
Yippee! I'm so excited to be here. We're gonna have so much fun getting
We
into these juicy
ah,
stories.
there's one thing we do together quite a bit is that we sometimes when something really funny happens, we both cackle. We just kind of like synchronize hag cackle together.
I love it. I can't wait for it.
I really hope today that we have one of these cackles coming out.
Mhm. Oh, I 100% can guarantee.
Now, I'd like to know, are you somebody who reads a lot of stories of this kind? Are you into scary stories? Are you into like embarrassing stories? Are you into love stories? What kind of things are you into?
I love the "Am I the asshole?" stories and like story time, like my boyfriend, dot, 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 like that stuff, like the
Mhm, mhm.
drama, like the girls talk, the
Yep,
tea.
yep, yep,
I
yep.
love it.
There's just something kind of refreshing sometimes to know that, hey, other people's lives can also be, we're not the only ones, right? With bad things
Yep.
happening, a bad friend, a bad cousin, an embarrassing moment, right?
Yeah, 100%, never alone. Not
Also,
when the internet's here.
it's true. Also, I will air out a little bit of your dirty laundry. You
Oh,
do like those romance novels.
I do. I
Yeah.
am a fan of the romantices. It's the same story every time, but I eat it up
Mm-hmm.
all the
Mm-hmm.
same.
Listen, you know what? At least you're consistent, right? At
So
least you're
fair.
consistent. You're
At
loyal.
least I know what I like.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know what you're about, as the children say.
Exactly, exactly.
Now, the way that this show is going to start off, and I am open to, your comments, your criticisms, your concerns, but the way we are going to start it off, Amalie, is you are going to have $20. I know. You're
I'm
welcome.
rich.
I
Thank
need
you.
you to spend that $20 before you leave tonight, though.
Can do. Credit card make nice noise. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching. There is a chance we go a little bit lower because since it's the first episode, we might go a little bit less on the react. We'll see. But
Yeah,
the
there's
way
room
this
for stuff.
is, there is. The way that these stories are going to work is we had some audience submissions, but because it's the first episode, we have a few stories that are coming in from Reddit. You and I have a
Ooh.
nifty little document called Trashlight Confidential Stories. In
Ooh.
it, we have, for example, I will start with a story. He vaped mid sex. That's all we can read. And then we decide if we want to read it or not. It has the
Mhm.
genre, love and relationship. And then we have a little point system. The drama, 2. The
Ooh.
plot, 1. The twist, 2. The length, 2. The cringe, 3. The total points, 10. For the cost of $2. So you can
Remorse,
decide,
not drama.
do you want to read 3 juicy stories and kind of fill up on your $20? Or are you here for a long time and you want to read a bunch of
Mm.
little stuff? You're in a reading mood.
So fair.
Yeah. Gives us a little insight on the guest psyche as well. Are you a slow burn kind of person or are you let's start with the juiciest, biggest, most dramatic story right away?
I
It's
don't know, a crazy
exciting.
title does kinda pull me in.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my eyes locked on a few in
All right.
this grimoire of drama here,
Let,
this
let, let's
grimoire of
um
tea.
let's get started. If you want to read a few of the titles for us, I'm excited.
Ooh, okay, the ones that really, like, kinda are popping out at me,
Uh-huh.
are obviously this one's not a surprise, well, wait, what is TIFU?
Today I fucked up.
Oh, yep, okay. TIFU, I love that. I only know am I the asshole. Okay. Today I fucked up by submitting hardcore furry erotica instead of my final paper. I've had nightmares about this. Not furry erotica in particular, but just like accidentally like attaching like like a horrible meme or something.
Oh,
Like
no. Oh my god. I don't even know what I would send. I don't even know. Oh.
I know. So that one gets me. That one
Okay,
gets
that
me.
one's interesting. Mhm.
Um And then another one looks like drama. My fiance isn't invited to the wedding because the bride thinks she's too pretty. That one also,
Sorry,
I need to
babe.
know what
Y
happens.
You're
Yeah,
just too beautiful. All right, let me take a look at some myself. My boyfriend won't make noodles the way I like.
there are two types, Your Honor.
It's because I love spaghetti and ketchup. That is
Mm,
my, like, cheap meal, poverty
wait,
meal. That is my yes.
spaghetti and ketchup? Pop off, girl. I
This is why I can relate. That's why I'm like, "Oh, your boyfriend won't make noodles the way you like?"
Okay, okay.
I every single time I've told people I like spaghetti and ketchup, it's always a riot. So I can relate to that person.
Mhm.
Let me take a look really quickly.
We
Uh,
can't judge the cockroach queen.
ooh. Tomorrow, I'm going to ruin his li there really are 2 types of people.
I know, you're these are so great.
Oh my god. I faked liking hiking, and now I'm deep in the woods, literally and emotionally. That is so
Interesting.
relatable. Have you allegedly ever, when you were a younger individual, not been very honest about your hobbies or how you pass the time?
Oh, my parents didn't know that I did anime covers in my closet for many, 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 many years.
I think this
So,
is
yes.
about dating, though.
Oh, well, yeah, I think
2 types
everyone
of people again.
2 types of people, guys, 2 types of people. Yeah, I feel like you, like, never tell your parents stuff until way later in life. Gotta keep secrets. They can't know.
Yeah. Yeah. My flatmate, F27, and F27 has told my boyfriend I'm 31, she's in love with him. Oh my
I
god.
know. I'm reading I yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the
ah.
trying to flirt with a guy at the gym and ended up being a full-blown CPR situation. How did that transpire? I just think these are great. Like, honestly, like, if I was in a bookstore and these were, like, the one sentence synopsis, I'd be buying all these.
I definitely wanna do a quick little shout out to my team that put these ones together. You are the real ones. Thank you for your hard work. And,
Mm.
Amalee, as my guest, would you like to start us off?
Honestly, yes, indeed, I will. I will take this
Mm,
opportunity
mm,
to
mm.
click on, submitting hardcore furry erotica instead of my final paper. Oh, no, my hand slipped. Oh, whoopsies.
Oopsies. All right. Read it to me. I'm so
All right.
I need it.
Buckle in, momos.
Mm,
Okay. So I'm currently in a fourth year computer science student at a pretty respectable university and was
okay.
looking to graduate this semester. One of my classes I was taking was a class in modern advancements and trends in the field of technology. My God,
Ooh. Okay.
women in STEM.
Yeah, we love that.
While the class didn't require too much heavy lifting, it was still a higher level one and required a good amount of work. For our
Okay.
final, our professor had assigned us a 20-page research paper into a current or possible future technology of our choice within the field.
Mhm.
I did my paper on helium-3 power generation. These are
Mhm.
big words for Elmo.
These are huge words.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, I worked my ass off on this paper and
Oh
in the end was
god.
super proud of it. The papers were due last night at midnight, and I held off on submitting my final draft till the end to get it as clean as possible.
No.
This is where I fucked up big
No.
time. Oh
No,
no.
no.
Oh no. Okay. Let me tell you a little about myself. I love the you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah. I really love these
Yeah.
tags.
Incredible. Okay, let me tell you a little about myself. I don't work a normal job. I tried it
I'm
in my first
Batman.
year of school. I relate. I tried it in my first year of school and I really didn't like it. I worked internships when they came up outside of what I really wait, sorry. I've worked internships when they came up, but outside of that, it didn't really work. This and being a student really doesn't mix well enough. So I had to make money some
Mm.
way. Oh no, I see where this is going.
Oh.
I had to make money some way.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years, I've gotten on by writing hardcore erotica on commission, specifically for furries. The furries do have all the money, I
Oh,
swear to
yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah, they do. They're all in STEM and engineering, some of the smartest folks out there. Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Specifically on furries, I would
Mhm.
write anything, any fetish, any premise, anything.
No, no, no. Anything.
Anything,
You don't understand.
anything,
Anything.
everything and anything. Oh my god.
Anything.
In some parts of that community, I became really popular. At one point, I was making almost $2,500 on Patreon, along with the amounts I
Ooh.
charged to my customers.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, if you ever need some writing gigs,
Yeah,
Amalee here
please.
loves slow burn romance.
If you wanna write one with me in the bracket,
Wait,
oh,
actually,
Jennifer, make nice noise.
can you please submit something else in the stories, please? I think I know what I'm getting you your next birthday. You're gonna have to
Oh,
tell me your favorite 3 positions though.
oh boy.
In private, don't worry,
No,
don't
off
worry.
the stream, off the
Off
stream.
the stream, off the stream.
Uh, I love this next bit. Am I proud of this? No. I
No!
have written some really disgusting
Wave your
stuff,
freak
but it paid the bills.
flag.
But it pays
Yeah.
the bills, and the money was too good to pass up. Honestly, rent don't care sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I told myself the minute I got a real job, I was cutting and running from this work. Oh, no.
No.
No,
No,
why?
the
Some of
world needs your
it's fun.
furry
Yeah, I
erotica.
know. There's a hole that only you're filling. Wait, that's a bad a bad analogy.
How did you find, like, the raunchiest stories to start with, huh?
They call to me sometimes. Well, this brings us to last night. I
Mhm.
had not gotten any sleep for the past few nights. I had multiple projects due in that span of a few days. I was running
Mhm.
on nothing but coffee and Rockstar. I was nothing more than
Okay.
a walking corpse and wanted to do nothing but sleep. I ended up doing my last read of my final paper and submitted it before sleeping.
I'm so sorry too.
However,
I can tell
yeah,
they're a great writer. I am
yeah,
I am I am captivated the whole time.
at the edge of my seat.
Uh-huh, me too. I'm like, "Oh, this is great." Mhm.
Oh no. However, instead of submitting my final paper, I somehow submitted one of the commissions I was working on. This commission was not light either. It is almost 10 pages
Oh.
long and contains a variety of things, including vor and scat. I actually don't even know what that is.
Maybe yeah, let's just keep going.
Let's just keep going.
Let's just keep going.
So I went to bed. Submissions for the final locked, and my academic career was sentenced to death then and there.
This
Oh,
is
geez.
insane.
I love that. She's like, I went to bed. I went to bed.
Oh my
Tucked
god.
myself right in. When I woke up this morning, I checked my grades for my other classes before noticing an email from my professor.
Uh-huh.
All it says was to come to his office after class today.
Meanwhile, he's in his furry suit.
He's the commissioner.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, 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 yeah. He's like, "Oh," and that's their love story.
oh no.
They found each
I wanna
other.
fucking yeah, I wanna fucking die right now.
Mhm.
I don't know how I'm going to explain why instead of my final, I submitted a hardcore erotic story with a wolf man jacking off in a dragon's stomach. But yeah, I fucked up big
I
time.
in the stomach?
Yeah, in the stomach, I guess.
Cool, okay. Nothing I could say but could make me sound any less cool than going, "Cool, yeah, I get it.
Get it?
I completely
Yeah,
understand.
get
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. I
I wanna
understand that."
know where's the follow-up to this story, huh? I wanna know what
Wait, that's
happened.
how it ends?
Yeah, that's how it ends. That's it. I wanna know. Oh wait, no. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I need to
That's how it
slow
ends.
clap. Wow.
I know. They are a good writer because the cliffhanger,
The
man.
cliffhanger. And just to be clear with everybody, we have not pre-read these stories. The whole point is we want it to be authentic. I had my team
Mhm.
double check, vet, pre-read the stories, give us a little idea of how long they are. So you're a great writer. I need part two. I need to know, like,
What did the professor say? What happened? What
was the
grade did you get? Did you get an A?
yeah, did he let you read some, or was he like, hey, I too have unconventional desires, right? Oh my God.
Teacher's like, not the assignment, but good writing, A plus.
Yeah, imagine, because that is some great writing. I can only imagine how you'd write,
Yeah,
so passionately. Oh
man.
my God. That
$2,500 on Patreon plus that in the commissions. It's awesome.
that is crazy.
They're killing it.
Again, please, I do want to say very quickly, there's no such thing as a real job. At the end of the day, a job is
Mhm,
something that you do to get paid. Now, you can enjoy your job. You can have like a vocation or a passion or a calling for it, right?
mhm.
But it doesn't matter. You get paid, it's a job.
A job's a job.
A job's a
Making
job.
money, that's a job.
Yep.
Mhm,
That was
mhm.
$4 really well spent, Amalee.
Incredible. Here, take my money.
I'm keeping track. I'm keeping track. All right.
Incredible,
For
incredible.
my story, I very quickly, for
Mm.
some reason, this story doesn't have like a crazy name, but it called to me, and it just says the banker and the bartender.
Oh, no.
And
Okay.
I don't know, it calls to me. Something about
Mhm.
this story calls to me, and I just want to, yeah. So, let me mark down. I'm paying $4 on my little doubloons for this as well.
Yes, yes.
I'm 42, dating Tim, 59, a widower. God, I hope the names are fake. Also, let's go. Dating older. Ooh,
Love
age
it.
gap. We love it. He's in banking. Ooh. I'm a
Okay.
bartender. I know. Sorry, wait, let me read this dramatically. I know what it looks like. No. What is it? It looks like you're in a
What does
happy
it look like?
relationship. What does it
Yeah.
look like? His two daughters thought the same thing, but he's broke as a joke and I've got a trust fund. So actually, no. Oh my God. This reads like those like Confessions of a Shopaholic novels from the
No, but
2000s.
actually, no.
So actually, no. I'm the breadwinner. I love this.
I love that too. Get it.
He's broke because his late wife got cancer 3 times. He ran up 6 credit cards, second mortgage on the house, cashed out his retirement, everything and anything to get her the treatment she needed, and then to get the treatment enough to see both daughters married. His daughters
Oh.
live 6 hours away. We drove to them for Christmas, Xmas last year and the year before. They ignored me, dragged him away when he tried to include me, and prevented their husbands from making even small talk with me by talking over me. Hmm. Year one,
Aw.
Tim chastised them. They apologized to him, not me. They blamed the pain
Mm.
of seeing their dad with a woman who wasn't their mom.
It
Year
got dark
two?
real fast. You were
Yeah, this
laughing at the
got
start, but
dark.
then it got real dark, damn.
Yeah. Well, I laugh at a lot of stuff, so that is my little
Yeah,
disclaimer.
yeah. No, you're
Year
good, you're
two, they
good.
did it again. This year, I told Tim not again. He could go. I would never ask him not to see his daughters for Christmas, but I'll stay here. Hmm.
Mm.
I get that
Okay.
decision.
Yeah.
Tim didn't love the idea because me going with him means we can share the responsibility of driving. When his back starts to bother him, he hates to fly. Um, his 2010 Death Trap is starting to go anyway. That's the car. Okay. So I leased him a comfy
Oh.
luxury ride. My brother has a dealership. He called the girls, super excited that he'd be able to see them more often without having to worry about his back, who then blew up and accused him of spending their mother's money on a full house and car to impress some bimbo bartender and didn't offer them a dime for their weddings. Oh my God.
Oh,
I-
Jesus.
this is some wild stuff. In the
So
insuring argument, it came out that they assumed there had been a life insurance policy, nor. So this is another thing with a lot of these problems. I'm just going to interject. So
Oh,
often it's because the adult kids and the parents don't talk about this kind of stuff. Like that they
right.
assumed that he was using some money, but then they didn't know that the dad had no money and stuff like that. Like they just didn't
Mhm.
know, didn't ask. And again, maybe
Yeah,
stuff like trust funds
miscommunication.
too. It's a little bit private, right? Like if she's
Mhm.
independently wealthy, she doesn't have to, that's not something you tell people right away.
Yeah.
I would assume if I was independently wealthy, none of you would know. If I was born in generational wealth, you'd never know.
I won the lottery. You'd never know,
You'd
but there
never
would
know.
be signs.
I come out with like my lips the size of dinner plates.
Wow, Alma, you released 20 models this year. That's so strange.
I come out looking like fresh out the womb, baby skin. Um, I'm molting again, my bug skin shedding. Okay, sorry, back to it. Um,
Mhm, mhm.
in the ensuing argument, it came out that they assumed there had been a life insurance policy, nor did they have any idea about the credit card debt or their second mortgage that the house was underwater on, or that Tim was looking at foreclosure and bankruptcy until he moved in with me. They did not
Mhm.
realize it was my house, that he pays no bill save the water bill. The man takes excessive showers and shared groceries. Now the girls want my number. They are sorry I felt lonely at Christmas. Good start.
Well, okay.
They want to come and visit and stay with us next year. Conveniently, in summer, I live near a beach. I've told Tim
Mm.
absolutely no about giving out my number. I'm happy to be polite if they come to visit Tim, but we're not going to be friends. If they had talked to me for even 2 seconds, they'd have understood. I am not shy about admitting the only thing I have ever contributed to my blessed financial state is not developing a crippling drug addiction, like my cousin. Just in case I'm not going to read the name, just in case
Yeah.
did. um, Tim thinks I'm being too forgiving. They would have, too unforgiving, sorry. They would have warmed up to me eventually, but knowing how generous I am being with their father has made them warm up quicker. I maintain I don't care about now or later. They had their chance to not be catty brats over incorrect assumptions that I was taking advantage over him.
Mm.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Uh-huh.
Did they say how much older they're married, so they must be
So
older. That's a
she's
lot.
42, he's
Mhm.
59, but I would assume his kids are because they're married. I would assume they're minimum
20s.
like
Yeah.
25
Yeah,
plus.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's a lot. It does kinda feel like they're only now paying attention to her now that they
yeah,
realize that she has the money, which is
yeah.
so crazy.
And even if they didn't do it on purpose-ish, there's still that
It's still
idea
there,
of, as
though.
she says, if they had
Yeah,
only spoken to her like a person
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that stuff. Um, it does make me
Crazy.
wonder though, without obviously we are not here to judge, we are not here to I do
Mhm.
wonder if it was also a little bit on maybe the father's responsibility to maybe
Mhm.
explain that to his daughters, maybe after the first Christmas, right? Kind of say like, "Hey girls,"
Yeah,
or maybe even explain that, "Hey girls, whatever you think about," cuz I think in the story they said
yeah.
the girls called her a bimbo bartender. Maybe he could have been like, "Hey girls, just so you know,
Don't
it's
talk
her
about my wife like
house.
that.
She's my wife.
Mhm.
I'm paying, like she's paying the bills. It's her house.
Yeah,
She's"
yeah.
So I do feel like maybe there was a little bit of that, but
100%, and they're old, like, that's why I was like, "How old are they?"
yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, when they're younger, I understand, like, keeping some
Mhm,
information from them, but
mhm.
they're older.
They're
They
older.
deserve to be told the full story.
Yeah. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I don't blame the bartender, as they say, for like this is one thing that I've kind of learned in my life. I do not have to give people I don't know if it's like my grace. I don't know what to say. Like I can give people my politeness, but I do
Mm,
not need to go overboard. And in her case, she never has to be his adult daughter's best friend. Yeah, it would be nice in a perfect world, you get along with all your
right.
stepchildren and all your step parents and all the cousins and all the everything, but
Mhm.
she doesn't owe them that. So,
So
I
true,
get it.
so true. Be polite from a distance.
Yeah. Wow, that
Yeah.
took a turn.
Yeah, dang.
Oh my goodness.
It gets real here.
It gets real. It does, it does. What a story. Thank you for your confession, I guess. And
Yeah.
I know you didn't ask like, am I the asshole? Am I this? No, 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 no. But at the end of the day, whatever brings you peace, your relationship
Mhm,
is with their father. And, who knows? Maybe in like a few years down the line, they can make amends again and then you can decide
mhm,
how you feel about that.
mhm. 100%.
Miss Amalee, what's your story gonna be?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna spend $3 on this love and relationship story.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, uh, the time I fucked up, I seem to be gravitating towards these by
Yeah.
trying to flirt with a guy at the gym and ended up in a full-blown CPR situation.
Ooh, okay, okay.
I must know what's happened
I'm
here.
I'm
Oh,
ready.
lots
I'm
of
I'm
emojis.
listening.
There's lots of emojis. It's gonna get real here in a second. All right, all right. Just make this a little larger for my old hag eyes. All right. So this happened yesterday, and I'm still cringing so hard. I might
Ooh.
never step into that gym again. Oh, uh-oh. I, 22 female, recently started going to this new gym. And there's this insanely cute guy who works out around the same time as me. I've been trying to find the courage to
Mhm.
talk to him for a couple of weeks. Yesterday, I decided it was the time. Oh no.
Ooh.
Okay, okay, get it, girl, let's go. I saw him doing deadlifts and thought,
Oh.
okay, casual compliment, easy in. So I walked by, smiled, and said, your lats are majestic. The fuck, majestic? What was I thinking?
Majestic. Ooh.
I have to preface this, by the way, it's written as WTF, question mark, majestic, two question marks. What was I thinking? Three question marks, and then three crying emojis.
Sir, you are looking delicious today. Like,
You are
sir,
majestic.
your form is spectacular. What was
You
that
are
word?
wizardry.
Supercalifragilistic? Do you remember that one?
Cialagocious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, oh
You are
no.
Mary Poppins all up in here.
Oh, is this in the story or is that just you ad
No,
libbing?
no, no. We're just ad libbing.
Oh God. What?
Oh, oh, I love it. WTF, majestic. What was I thinking? IDK, why I said that. I meant
IDK.
to say you're lifting a lot or nice form or literally anything else.
Imagine instead of nice form, she's like, "Hey man, nice ass," and then she gets like kicked out of the gym for sexual harassment.
Oh, God. Your lats are majestic. Love it. I love it. Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
wonder how.
He looked,
Sorry, very quickly.
oh,
I wonder how it would feel
yeah.
like if my husband comes home and he's like, "Hey, a girl at the gym hit on me." I'm like, "Oh, okay. What did she say?" Right? And then if he's like, "Nice ass," but then he's like, "She said my lats are majestic." I can't even be upset.
Ass lats. I mean, nice lats. Nice ass. I mean, nice lats. Oh, that'd be me. That'd be me, unfortunately. Oh, oh boy.
Oh.
All right. We're on our way.
Mhm.
He looked confused and said, thanks. And I panicked and decided to just walk away and die in the locker room. While trying to speed walk away in embarrassment, I tripped over a medicine ball someone left in the way. My face planted onto the floor, and I knocked the wind out of myself so hard I couldn't breathe for 20 seconds. Walk it off. Walk it off.
Uh, I would never be able to show my face.
Expertly,
I would
expertly
never.
done. Girl failure all the way up in here.
Mhm, mhm.
A trainer saw it happen, thought I was having a heart attack, and started actual CPR protocol before I could wheeze out, "I'm fine."
Mm.
Oh, no. That same cute guy helped, hold my legs up while I got oxygen. Pretty sure I
Oh,
died inside.
hold
Oh.
my legs up.
I was trying to read that really slowly. I was like, "Am I reading this right?"
Yeah, like
Hold my legs up. Pretty sure I died inside. Anyways, now I'm the quote, quote, "CPR girl" at my gym. And yes,
oh.
I still plan to go back. I cannot.
You are a stronger woman than me. You are a
Yeah,
braver woman than
you
I
are.
am.
That's crazy.
I But you know what though? I have to say, this makes for a great opener and story.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. And now you're memorable to that cute guy.
Yeah. I
Like,
would
I don't know,
say
being called CPR girl is kinda cute.
I would go further and say you have nothing to lose. I would even go to him and be like, "Hey, I think I owe you dinner after what happened last time."
Yeah.
And just see if you can take him out on a date.
Yeah, thanks for, I don't know, saving my life or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Can I buy you dinner or can I buy you some beers, right?
You guys should, like, go to an oxygen bar for, like, the memes.
Stop.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You gave me air, so, let this be my treat. I don't know, it could be kinda cute, kinda be romantic.
Okay. I think she's kidding here. Don't go to an oxygen bar, but definitely I'd say like, what's the worst that can happen?
He says
You're
no?
already at the bottom of embarrassment, right? So I think play your cards and just be like, hey man, that was really embarrassing. Thanks for saving my life. Can I buy
Mhm,
you a few
mhm.
beers? Again, I don't know how much he drinks because gym people, but like, Can I buy
Yeah.
you a few beers after work? Can I buy you, can I take you to dinner? Can I buy you lunch
Mhm.
sometime? Um, and maybe he'll be like, no, I'm good. And then
Yeah.
he's not interested.
No, you got this. I can tell because 'cause you're like, "I still plan to go back to this gym," so you're
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah,
You
you
have it.
are. I love that like little bit of I'm going back to the gym. I don't care.
Yeah.
And again, now people know you. They remember you. You're cool
Yeah.
now.
You're famous.
You're
You're a
basically
celebrity.
CPR girl.
Please change your ringtone to CPR by whatever that artist is.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Or the
yeah. Oh my
musician. Yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah.
I just oh my
Embrace
god.
the meme.
When he was holding up my legs, like, you guys are already on
I
second
know.
base. Like,
I know.
that's
I read that really slowly. I was like, wait a
yeah.
second, what's happening here?"
Honestly, like, what's the worst that can happen? Please, if you do ask him out, please update us in the comments
Yes.
or in anything. But I am telling you right now, you have nothing to lose. Shoot your shot.
Honestly, I
Genuinely.
can see this being like, like the when people get like engaged, they're like how it
Mhm.
started, where it ended, or like where it is now. And it's this would be like the where's it started.
She said,
Show us
"Nice
the ring when it
lads,"
happens.
and
Yeah.
then tripped. I'm telling you, just the fact that you have the balls later to come up to him and ask him out for beers and all that,
Mhm.
there's like, trust me, he'll remember you forever.
Yeah, just let us be the devils on your shoulder. Do it.
Yeah, do
Do
it.
it. Do
Ask him
it.
out. Ask him
Do
out.
it. Ask him out.
And then, oh, wait, wait, wait. Not manifesting this for you, but just saying this for the meme. What if then something really funny happens on the date and it's like so, yeah. And then you just like your life is just these like crazy moments.
Yeah. Honestly, being like funny and memorable is like so key.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You are gonna stand
Mm.
out.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to
I
read
love
a
it.
little. This story is apparently kind of short, but it caught my
Okay.
attention. He took me to dinner and introduced me to his nieces. Because it reminds me of a personal story of mine where
Mm.
many, 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 many years ago, when I was a much younger woman, I went on, and it was again to this day one of the best dates I've ever been on. We've just walked around all day. I made plans later where I had my friend call me and be like, "Hey, like our plans are happening," but I told my friend to like, "Hey, I'm having great time. Like we can cancel." We didn't have real
Mhm.
plans, but it was just for me to have somewhere to go. And me and this person, we ended up walking around all day. We got ice cream, we got coffee,
Mhm.
and then he ended up driving me home. But it was like one of those all day walking dates, and
Yeah.
that's why sometimes people are like, "I don't have money," and it doesn't matter. It's just about spending time together and talking and getting to know one another.
Mhm,
But the
mhm.
reason this story speaks to me is because when we were passing next to a museum, he was explaining to me about his family. He had a younger sister and his two parents, et cetera, et cetera. And he was saying that I think his sister was in like a university nearby, and his parents were going to be going there because she was something like that. She was graduating, and then when we're passing by a museum, he gets called over, and um, I don't want to like reveal his ethnicity, but he got called over in the language that his ethnicity is, or I don't
Mhm.
know if it's an ethnicity, nationality, but I'll just say it, Italian. He got called over in Italian, okay? Me
Mhm.
hiding this deep secret of Italians. And it's like, and it's again, it's two people that look like they could be his parents and a girl that
Mhm.
looked like she could be his sister. So
Mhm.
afterwards, I very much was joking of like, are you doing this on purpose? Like, did you purposely get them here because you wanted them to meet me? It's our first date. Like,
Yeah,
relax,
meeting the
buddy,
parents, yeah.
But no, I mean, it wasn't much better. It was his aunt and his cousin.
Oh, okay.
So that's why seeing this story, I'm like, I want to see if it's the same as my story where like his aunt and her husband, and I guess like his aunt, his uncle, and his cousin just happened to
Mhm.
be there. Or
Happen to
if
be
it's
there.
like such a different story and it's got
They
nothing to do
planned
about
it.
it. So I'm excited. And it got
Mm,
me to
okay,
open
okay.
up a little bit about a funny oh, this is a very short story. Um
Yeah, yeah.
he took me to dinner and introduced me to his nieces. I met my
Mhm.
now partner at work. Ooh, scandalous. Um,
At work.
at work. Hey, speaking of, I mean, you and I are ex-coworkers now, girl. So
Hey.
anything can happen.
Truly.
It took us a few years and a coworker to get to second base. And a coworker?
Oh,
What?
wait,
Am
wait.
I
There's more
understand?
to the story?
My
Wait a second.
my are you
Took us a few years and a
suggesting?
coworker. Okay.
Hmm. You are thinking what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, me as well, me as
Okay,
well.
okay,
I
okay,
don't think
okay.
it's worded the way that we think it's worded, I think.
Let us know in the comments if you're also thinking the way we're thinking about this. It took us a few years and a coworker to get to second base. Okay. One day, he asked me out on a date to a restaurant. On the way there, his phone rang. It was his older brother. His wife would be out of town, and her mom and he wanted to ask if my partner wanted to grab dinner with him. He told that we were on our way to get some dinner. Since we weren't official at this point, I was very impressed to hear that his brother was like, you know what? Bring her with you. I get a table for us at this really fancy Italian restaurant. Oh, the Italians, it's the family.
It is the same story.
It is. Maybe he did.
Oh my
Maybe he did
God.
ask his aunt and his cousins to be there to vet me.
Deja
Maybe.
vu for you.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks. That's so Raven.
Italian. Yeah.
Since I knew the two didn't see each other that often, I said yes. Oh, Momos. I should have known better. He
Oh.
spontaneously also brought his kids, 13 and 15 at the time, to meet their potential aunt. Oh, I needed to answer a lot of questions about my age, TV shows I like,
Oh God.
etc. We survived that dinner and I got accepted pretty fast into the family. Oh, and we were official partners after this night. Oh,
Oh, that's so
nowadays I cherish
cute.
this memory and like to share it, but when it happened, I was super intimidated by it.
That is a lot all at once, but that's so cute
Yeah,
though.
I agree. And you know what? I feel like moments like this is when you really can tell a lot about a person, right?
Mhm.
Like you
Yeah, like
can
they
tell.
immediately accepted
Mhm.
you.
And also
So
that
cute.
she was okay to roll with it. It wasn't like, "Oh, it's our first date. It's meant to be that." It's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, sure. I mean, I get it. Like,
Mhm.
you want to help your brother with the children. This is important. Like, how often do you get to see
Mhm.
your nephews, etc." Yeah.
That's
Um
so cute.
and getting accepted into the family is a big deal. It is a
Yeah,
big,
and then,
big,
like,
big deal.
asking, like, a ton of questions about, like, shows you like and stuff is, like, super personal, so they wanted to get to know you. That's
Yeah.
so cute.
And he
Yeah.
also gets to see how you are again with kids with because that's another thing
Mhm.
about first dates. I feel that when you're on dates with people, you only really get to see kind of their best side that they're showing you because they're trying to
That
impress
is
you, right?
true.
So when you
Yeah.
add a lot of people, it's hard for them to be on their best behavior around 12 people. So
Mhm,
you kind of
mhm.
tend to see the cracks in the person much quicker. You tend to see their personality more. So
Especially kids.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh, teenagers in this
Mhm.
case, right? They're
Oh, yeah.
adamant.
True.
Like
Yeah.
they need to
They're very
know.
sassy too.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So good on you. This is so exciting. What a
Yeah,
sweet
congrats.
story. Aw,
Yeah, love it.
I don't feel lonely at all with this lovely story. What the heck?
Mhm, mhm. Oh, love it, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Madam,
Very
you have
wholesome.
$13 left.
I have 13 whole
Mm-hmm.
dollars. Hmm,
Yeah.
let's see. Ooh, this one here is, top tier drama. Ooh,
Ooh, top tier drama, a $7 story. Oh, she got up.
$7 story.
Madam,
Yeah, yeah,
sit back down.
yeah.
Sit back down.
Top tier story here. This is let's read the title. It might get a
Amalee,
little
sit
large.
down. You're standing up.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Sit
There you
down,
go.
grandma. Good, 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 good.
I sit down?
You sit down, grandma.
Oh, what happened was, as I hit exclamation point, that's what happened.
Mm. The thing with the
My
top tier
bad.
stories, get ready. It's a lot of reading.
I just wanted to show my skirt off to the momos.
Yeah, you did. All right, what's your top tier story?
Okay,
Talk to me.
top tier story. My 2 a.m. ride home turned into a police interrogation.
Oh no.
Ooh, drama.
Drama.
Okay. So when I was young, I was dumb enough to not have saved up any money for a car. So the best choice I could
Ooh.
find at the time was a Raising Cane's chicken finger place a little under 2 miles away from my parents' house.
Okay.
Close enough that I could bike there. And boy, did I. Oh boy. I had to bike through every kind of weather on the days I worked, whether it was rain, snow, freezing rain, boiling sun, everything.
Really well said. Freezing rain, boiling sun.
Yeah,
I like
boiling
that's
sun, very
ooh.
poetic.
We have some
Yeah.
writers
Ooh.
in here.
Anyway, this particular night, I was getting off the closing shift, so it was around 1 to 2 a.m. going home. But it was also the literal coldest night my state had
Ooh.
in years. It was -2 degrees Fahrenheit, which is -18.8 Celsius. Ooh, with a wind
Mm.
chill of -10 Fahrenheit. So, as
Ooh.
someone who had to bike home, I had geared up for the cold and was ready for it. Prepared. We love it. My
Good, 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 good.
coworkers jokingly called me a ninja on two accounts. One, I am naturally stealthy and could sneak up on them with some relative ease. And two, I was dressed in head to toe black clothing that night,
Okay,
with the
okay.
only exposed skin around my eyes so I could see and have my glasses on. Uh oh.
You
Oh no.
can't see without his glasses.
Yeah. And especially if it's dark and you're just like biking like the
Mhm.
speed of wind. Mm-mm. Uh oh. To try to give you a visual, I had on black safety toe shoes that were slip resistance. Grease can get really slippery. Black
Mm-mm-mm.
jeans with black sweatpants underneath, a black t-shirt with a black and gray long sleeve thermal shirt under that, a black thin hoodie over all that, black
Fashionable.
thermal gloves, though they had worn down over time, a black ski mask, that only had an eye slit in it, and onto this, my black backpack that I used to stuff my work outfit into, as
Mhm,
well as the
mhm.
book I was reading. And you see why my coworkers dubbed me Ninja.
Okay, okay.
Anyways, once I donned my anti freeze my butt off gear, I hopped onto my mountain bike, hit play on my iPod, and pedaled my way home. It only took about a quarter half mile before I was producing enough heat to counteract the cold.
Ew.
Thankfully, the bike ride home was perfectly fine. Dot, dot, dot.
Uh-oh.
Right up until the last minute.
Yeah.
Uh oh. My path home passes by both my old middle school, grade 6 to 8, and as I was passing by the gas station that's a stone's throw away from here, I saw a car parked by it. I was curious as to who and why someone would leave a car at a closed gas station at 2 a.m., but it was cold and I didn't feel like stopping to find out, so I kept going.
Uh-oh.
About 3 blocks later, I had turned into the back area of my neighborhood and heard a car coming down the road towards me. Thinking it was just someone returning from their job or a late party, I didn't bother thinking about it and kept pedaling. Right up until I heard the car slow down.
Oh.
Realizing quickly who this probably was,
Uh-oh.
red and blue lights lit up. Realizing it was a patrol car of some form, I came to a quick stop, hit the kickstand on my bike, stood next to my bike so I was easily seen in their patrol light. Those things are bright,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
quickly took down my hood and ski mask. I was not giving any reason to be considered suspicious.
Okay.
Thankfully, the cop came out of his car and started asking questions. Who are you? Do you have any
Mhm, mhm.
ID, etc.? I answered everything calmly and clearly, though I was a nervous wreck at the time.
Oh, yeah.
My brain was trying to figure out what was happening and why it was happening. Thankfully, I was on autopilot and answered every question and complied with every demand without freaking out. Good on you.
Yeah. Has that
The
happened to
stroke
you
of
before? Like
yeah.
getting questioned like that
Oh,
and you're like, "Oh,
the first time I got pulled over, I cried.
oh
I
my
cried, and the police
baby."
was like, it's okay, it's
Yeah.
okay." And I got out of a ticket, but I was like, "I'm sorry, I was lost, I didn't know where I was like, I don't know where I'm going, I'm lost, I'm so sorry." I was driving around really suspiciously, and either that's why they pulled me over.
I'm sorry for laughing. I just imagine you crying, going, "I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry."
it was New Year's Day, so I think they thought I was,
Oh.
like, driving drunk, or it
Yeah,
was, like,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
evening
yeah.
on New Year's, but I was like, "I'm just lost," and they were like, "It's okay."
He's like, "It's okay, baby. You're not going to jail. You're gonna be okay."
No, I don't know it. I don't know. Sometimes it scares me. Have you ever gotten
So
nervous?
I nervous, yes. I don't drive, but I get so nervous at the airport sometimes when they ask me a lot of
Oh,
questions, and I feel
yeah.
so bad that I don't mean to lie sometimes at the airport. But I may have allegedly lied at the airport sometimes where like if I'm going somewhere and they'll say, "What do you do?" I'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to like see a friend or I'm going to
Mm.
this, no, no, no." Because I feel sometimes if I say I'm going to a gaming convention, they're like, "Oh, do you work in video games? What job do you do? Oh, who do you
Oh.
know?" And it's so it's sometimes easier to be like, "Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland." Like I'll usually just say a landmark of the place where I'm going. Like one
Mhm.
time when I went to Boston, I was like, "Yeah, I want to check out the universities." I was going to PAX.
stop going around. They're like, "Oh, are you applying?" You're like, "No, I'm old. I just wanted to look around."
Yeah. But it's just I feel so
That's
bad,
cute.
but I never know what they're gonna ask,
I
and I
know.
I get so nervous because I
I
don't
get
know.
nervous in the face of authority, I'm not gonna
Me
lie.
too, me too. And if it is
I
a
also like
crime to lie at the
Mhm.
airport, then I've never done it, by the way, for everybody listening.
That's fair.
Mm,
No, I
mm,
I
mm.
I feel like I look suspicious even when I'm, like, so innocent. Like, I'm always innocent, obviously, but, like, whenever, like, you go through the beeper
Yeah.
and they're like, "Do you have any metal on you?" And you're like, "I don't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Do I have
yeah.
any metal on
I'm like,
me?"
"Do I have anything that I don't know about?"
Yeah,
Right?
I don't
Oh,
know. I
and
don't
then
know. Maybe.
some Canadian airports, like, some American airports let you keep your shoes on. Some Canadians one don't.
Oh.
So I'm always like, sometimes like, "Do I have to keep my shoes on?" And I'll get a "Yeah." And other times they're like, "No, no, you cannot." I'm like, "I know, I'm just
Yeah,
asking
okay, sorry, I'm just asking a
a question."
question.
But I get it for them, like, they see
Oh.
hundreds of thousands of people a day.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
just on
that's how I am
autopilot.
too.
They're not being mean to
Mhm,
me. They're just, maybe
100%.
they look at me and they're like, "She looks like a bug. Why are you going really? Why are you going to Boston in April?"
"Stop there, cockroach woman."
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, please continue the story. We're getting
I
derailed.
got
Oh
it.
my
Yeah,
god.
sorry, derailed.
I derailed you and now I'm like,
You're
my
all good.
job.
In a stroke of luck that I will call God keeping my idiotic butt safe,
Yeah.
I had kept my clock out stub. Part of clocking in and out of work, the computers would print out a little stub of paper with relative info, time of action, name of person, clock
Mm-mm.
number, etc. Normally, I would toss it into the trash can, but for some reason, I had kept it that night. Thank God I
Ooh.
did. So
Mhm.
I am showing everything in my backpack off to the cop. A second patrol car comes up. Cue interroll
Donna,
freak out number two. Oh no.
Donna,
I
Donna.
swear. I'm
I'm
innocent.
innocent. I'm innocent. You do the same crying and everything again.
Yeah, no, please. So as I am panicking, all of my stuff. Wait. So as I. Oh, sorry. So as I am packing. Sorry, I read panicking because I was panicking for you. So as I am packing
I'm an
all of my
empath.
stuff up, yeah, and closing all my zippers on my backpack, the first cop asks what I was doing so late, especially with it being so cold out. I start explaining everything in as much useful detail as I can, still panicking, and
Mm,
got to how I
mm.
hadn't saved up money for a car when I was younger.
Oh.
It was around this point in the conversation the second cop speaks up and says, "Oh, I had to do something like that when I was younger too." The
Aw.
amount of relief that one comment gave me nearly knocked the
Aw.
wind out of me. Not much longer into the conversation, the second cop says, "I don't see anything odd going on here." And both cops agree that I'm not who they're
Aw.
searching for. The second cop heads out, and the first cop ended the conversation not much longer, even
Mm,
offering to give me a lift home.
that's so
I
cute.
declined as I was pretty warm and most of the ride home was downhill. Aw.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
God.
as
That would
yeah,
scare me. That is
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, it's, like, cold and dark, yeah.
Oh, and thank
Uh,
God they got it. That's what I've
mhm.
also heard from a few folks that have done security or have done these kind of jobs is like they're not asking you questions because they think you're a criminal or anything like that.
Yeah.
But fun fact, if you are guilty, a lot of times people give tells and signs that they're guilty. That's
Mhm.
mostly what they're looking
Yeah, they're
for.
looking for it,
So
yeah.
it's one of those things where chances are you're not looking the same guilty over, lying about what you're going to Boston for as somebody who is actually doing bad stuff. But
Gotcha, gotcha.
and sometimes from what I heard, they're just making conversation
Yeah,
of
they're
like,
just,
yeah,
like, checking out the area and
yeah,
getting to know everyone.
what are you
Yeah.
gonna do in Boston? Cool, a
Mhm,
gaming
mhm.
convention. What kind of video games do you like? But you're hearing it as like, what kind of video games do you like? And
Oh,
you're freaking out.
fun.
That was a great story. You've been picking all the long ones. I
Yeah,
like it.
I know.
I'm gonna do 2 back to back because I wanna read a
Okay.
short one. You have
Yeah,
$6 left, and I have
okay.
$14 left, so I wanna spend my
Mm.
little money, okay? I
Mhm,
am gonna
mhm.
go with an easy, short, light one for $3 called "I Faked Liking Hiking, and Now I'm Deep in the Woods, Literally and Emotionally."
Oh.
Oh, I think this one is a Reddit story, actually. I
Oh,
didn't check,
okay.
but some of the previous ones have been submitted. But we do have a few
Mhm.
stories here and there that are from Reddit. Like I said, because it's the first few episodes, we don't only have submissions, but eventually we
Gotcha.
want to move to a submission only model.
Yeah.
That would be
Love it,
amazing.
love it. Yeah.
Um, it started as a lie to impress a guy. Oh, don't they
Oh,
all?
rhymes.
when
Bars.
you're young, don't they all? And now I'm halfway to
Mhm.
becoming Bear Grylls against my will. So, a few years ago, I started dating this guy who was all about adventure and living life to the fullest. Reed, he owned a Patagonian jacket and had a carabiner for some reason. On our third date, he asked if I liked hiking. I wanted him to like me. So I said, "Oh my God, I love hiking. Nature is my therapy." Huge mistake. We went on a hike that weekend. It was 6 hours long. Alma,
Oh my god.
this is my
6
dream.
hours?
Do you like hiking?
Not for 6 hours. An hour or 2 maybe.
Oh, okay. Take
6
me
6
hiking for
hours?
an hour or two. Yeah, 6 hour hike.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god, the whole
God.
day even.
And
Oh,
you,
jeez.
oh, it's because you, what's something that y'all might not know about Amalee? She's a workaholic. Amalee, if she doesn't work on something for 2 hours, her body goes into like, what is
I
it,
know.
anabolic shock? You're like,
Yeah,
ah, I
I
need.
go, my little demons go, "You're useless. You're wasting the day. You could get so much done. What are you doing? Enjoying life?"
One time we had a collab where we played a game, and during that game we drank a little bit, and then after she was done with, like, she worked all day, she did a stream, she was like, "Yeah, I went and recorded harmonies for a cover I'm working on at like 9 p.m." Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? After having wine?
You know, you
Yeah,
know,
here.
it's gotta get done.
That's why.
There's
See,
hours left in the day.
I'm the opposite. 6 hours away from the computer is my dream.
Oh, I wish it could be me. I mentally can't do it.
We want to hike that weekend. It was 6 hours long.
Mm.
My legs almost gave out halfway up the trail, and I got bitten by a spider that may or may not have been poisonous. Wah,
Oh.
wah. But I smiled through the pain and said things like, "Wow, look at that view." While secretly
Me.
trying not to
Oh,
cry. Now it's 3 years later. We're still dating. Amazing. Okay. Now that
cute.
it's been 3 years, do you think it's time that she's like, "Hey, I lied
I
about
hated
liking
that.
hiking."
I fucking hated that.
I've become the hiking girl to all his friends. People message me for trail recommendations. I've received gifts of hiking socks. I own
Oh,
a water bottle and that says "take a hike" unironically. I'm sorry once
the
again.
lie's been going too long.
I'm sorry to mention the Italian guy with I swear it's this relationship is like 15 years ago. I'm fully over it. It's just this
Mhm.
it's on that date he wore a Spider-Man shirt and I was like, "Oh, so you like Spider-Man?" He's like, "Kind of." He kind of likes Spider-Man, and because of that, every single person he knows with his gigantic extended family has gotten him a Spider-Man something for every single holiday.
They're like, "You like Spider-Man, here you go."
So
That's
I
kinda
can
great.
relate. So I have that with stuff as well. Oh no. Oh no. Worst
Oh,
part,
yep.
I hate hiking. I hate bugs. I hate sweating. I hate being more than 10 minutes away from a bathroom.
Me?
M-
This is actually I think I wrote this.
you submitted this. Um, but I've committed so hard that I now lead monthly. Okay, you're committing too damn hard. I've committed so hard that I now lead monthly group hikes for his coworkers. I have a Google spreadsheet for upcoming summits. I once pretended to love a view so much I cried. It was just the altitude and dehydration. Now he wants to do the Inca Trail for our anniversary, and I'm
Oh.
Googling how to fake a knee injury convincingly. All right.
I have a bad toe. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta say. I, suddenly have a bad toe.
This is a Reddit story, but I have to say, please, for anybody listening, you do not need to commit to the bid that hard.
You don't gotta change who you are to make someone like you. Like,
Yeah.
this is yeah, you can give it up. You gotta this is like it's like the boy that cried wolf almost, but, like, it's like
Mm. The
if
girl
you
who
don't
cried
if
hike.
you don't come clean, it's gonna be your
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah. And just in case anybody listening, like I know we sound like two old hags preaching, but when I was younger and people told me you don't have to change for people to like you, I didn't get it. But I'm just letting you know if you're 3 years in and you are doing like work hike trips for his coworkers,
Mhm.
you can be like, "Hey, I like hikes with you that are 1 to 2 hours long, right? Or whatever. It's okay. It's okay to change your mind." But
Mhm.
this is
100%.
crazy. I can't
Yeah.
believe this. All right. Let me go on my second story because I got to spend some money. gonna spend some money.
Yeah.
I got $11
Spend some
left. Spend
money.
some money. Okay.
Mhm.
I stole from a museum as a child, and I don't mean from the
Oh,
gift shop.
oh,
Ooh.
oh.
Today, I fucked up by accidentally starting a citywide scavenger hunt. Okay,
Oh,
let's do that one. I like that one. I like it.
wide scout. Okay, yeah. I like bringing them up when you're reading
$4.
them.
Yeah. Right now, you're like, I want to
Nice,
read
nice.
your
I
story.
know. I'm like, "Ooh."
Uh, I think the today I fucked up one is a Reddit one.
Ah, okay.
Obligatory, this happened last weekend, and I'm still dealing with the aftermath. So I work at a small indie bookstore, and we often get used books donated. Last week, I found this beautiful vintage copy of Treasure Island with really detailed illustrations. Inside
Ooh,
was this yellowed piece of paper with what looked like an old-timey treasure map and some cryptic clues. I
love
thought it would
this.
be fun to post it on our local city subreddit as a joke, saying I found this mysterious map and wondering if anyone knew what it meant. Uh-oh.
Indiana
I
Jones, let's go. I
yeah.
love this.
Do,
Oh,
do, do,
yeah.
do. Oh my god. Mm. The post blew
Mhm.
up overnight. Like
Oh,
seriously blew up. Turns out the clues actually matched up with real locations around our city. Old buildings,
ooh.
historic landmarks, etc. What I thought was gibberish actually made sense to history buffs. Oh no.
Oh, no, yeah.
People started forming teams and going on actual treasure hunts. Someone made a Discord. Local news picked it up. There are now hundreds of people combing through the city following these clues. Here's the
Wow.
thing, there is no treasure. The map was probably just some kid's school project from decades ago. See, I doubt that. If it actually is so detailed and stuff, I doubt like a
Yeah.
kid did it. If
Someone, like,
it's,
worked that out.
yeah,
Yeah.
if it was enough to fool a bunch of adults, I doubt, but we'll
Mhm.
see. Um, some guy in a fedora came to the bookstore today and accused me of being part of a secret society. You know, you've really made it when you're accused of being like part of a secret society. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Little old
Honestly, what a yeah, what a opener.
me.
What
Hmm.
a what a
The
what a
mayor's
story to tell at
office
the dinner table.
called asking about permits for treasure hunting on public property. I'm getting DMs from people claiming they've solved parts of the puzzle and demanding to know the next step. Someone started a GoFundMe to hire a professional cryptographer. Oh my God.
What? I need to know if there's actually treasure.
Me
This is crazy.
too.
'Cause it does kinda sound like the beginning of, like, a movie, like, an old guy, like,
Right? This
donates
is
his
from
Treasure Island book with,
5 months ago.
oh, where's the update, guys?
Yeah, where's
Mama.
the update? I'm curious. This is on Reddit, so I'd be curious to see what happened and how it like
Yeah.
got how it followed up, but oof.
Mm,
I would say if I were you, I would just like try not to be too involved. Maybe just I don't know.
yeah.
Would you then post and be like, "Hey guys, I just found this in a book. I swear. I didn't think anything of it." What would you do in this
Yeah.
situation?
I don't know. I feel like I would find it really like, if I don't know, like, if I was on beekeeping age, like, if I had a little bit less
Yeah,
time if I had, like, a little less things to do, I would find this so fascinating, and, like, I
baby,
would start putting all the
you
puzzles together.
of beekeeping age. I love you.
Beekeeping age.
Yeah, beekeeping age. Is your dad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like a fun
Oh.
story, and I'm
Mhm,
really
mhm.
like I hope I might read the Reddit post after this just because I'm curious what the heck is going on.
Yeah. Oh, is this one from Reddit?
Yeah, Amalee,
Ooh, I
you
love
have
it.
$6 left, and I have 7. How would you like to spend your
$6.
money? And do you want to spend it in a few short stories, in a big
Mm.
one, in a how would you
Yeah,
like to spend your money?
I might do a 4 and a 2.
Okay, okay,
I'm
I
kind
like
of
that for you.
intrigued by this childhood story I stole from a museum as a child, and I don't mean from the gift shop. It is from Reddit,
Oh
but,
yeah,
I love ancient history. I
yeah.
almost changed my master I mean, not my master, sorry, my degree to be a history major.
Have you
I
talked
didn't
about
I
what
didn't
your degree is in publicly or
oh, yeah, I have a graphic design degree, but I wanted to switch it to
what?
be history. Yeah,
No, wait,
I did art. Mhm.
we
So I did a lot of art history classes, and
you
so I got into
I thought
history.
you had a
Mhm.
business degree.
No, I wanted to do a business degree, but the math classes required were too I couldn't do it.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I
Mm?
remember we were on a rooftop having drinks and I asked you what your degree was in. And I only
Graphic
had like
design.
one drink, and I know for a fact I would have remembered graphic design because I would have memed on you. I would have been like, really, the
Oh.
scuff queen in graphic design?
No, it's graphic design because whenever I'm, like, in an Uber or something, they're like, "What do you do for work?" I don't wanna say that I'm a
Yeah,
VTuber,
yeah.
I'm a streamer. I go, "Oh, I do graphic design. I really like Helvetica." Have you heard of Comic Sans? Oh, there's this famous art called
Papyrus.
I just start talking about fonts and they don't wanna hear anything else.
No,
It's
no.
great.
Oh,
No further
Times New
questions, no
Roman,
follow-up.
man. Whew, those
Yeah,
times.
great. It kills the conversation, silence for the rest of the ride. Perfect.
Wow. Okay, okay. I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes I'll ask you to you'll tell me something in a story. I'm like, "Wait, I don't remember this. Say it again." And then you start telling me the story and I'm like, "Oh, you told me this.
Oh,
I'm so
yep.
sorry."
It's all good, it's all
Old
good. I
age,
wish I had a sickness though.
women who grow old together. But yeah, okay. I knew you liked history, but I didn't know why did I forget
Why?
that you had a graphic design degree?
That's all right. It's quite forgettable, actually. Everything I learned is now, it no longer
Oh,
I open Photoshop and it's all changed. Like, everything I learned
right.
is I'm old now, so
Yep, 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 yep.
technology's changed.
I mean, hey, I don't have a degree, so you know what? It is what
Don't
it
worry.
is.
I didn't need one. I wasted my money, so you're good.
I'm excited for the story. Hit me.
All right. The story is I stole from a museum as a child, and I don't mean from the gift shop.
Dun dun dun.
Dun-dun-dun. When I was a child, around 7 or 8, I
Wait,
went on
I'm
a
so
school
sorry for interrupting you. I read this as I stole a child from the
Oh,
museum.
I stole from a museum. I
I
stole
thought the
a child.
story was I stole a child from the museum.
Mata.
I
Maybe a totally
swear.
different story.
I thought the story
This
was
time on true crime. No, I stole from a museum as a child. They were a
Oh,
child and
my
they
bad,
stole
my
from the
bad, my
museum.
bad. Okay, please read the story. Oh my god.
Okay, okay. Oh. When I was a child, around 7 or 8, I went on a school trip to a museum that had an ancient Egypt exhibit running. The museum staff allowed the class to look at some old relics, passing them around in a circle.
Okay.
Ooh, I love ancient Egypt. Okay. I remember looking at this little green slash blue colored figure of a goddess with a hippo head. I really liked it. Without a second thought, I put it in my pocket and took it home with me. I sat at home playing with it, not really understanding the gravity of what I had done.
And that is how
You're
curses
coming home
start,
with me.
okay, children?
You're coming home with me.
Yeah, you're coming home with me.
Uh, then we had a big assembly at school. The museum was looking for this
Ooh.
figurine, and it was not a replica, but an actual ancient Egyptian artifact. I remember playing scenarios in my head of how I could give it back without getting caught, but I couldn't see a way out of it. Oh no.
Mm.
This person and the person that's lying about liking hiking should be friends because they've had to like play the long game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like, "You know what? They'll figure it out when I die. I wanna
Yeah.
be buried with this."
Ugh. The museum became angrier. The
Of
assemblies
course.
grew more pressing. Letters went home to all parents. Parents were called in of naughty children who could have possibly done it.
Ooh.
Ooh, finally, everyone calmed down. They realized they weren't getting it back. I got
Aw.
away with it.
Oh!
I got away with it. They said that's
That's how
crazy.
the story ends?
No, no, there's more.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry,
Problem
sorry.
is the problem is I'm now 31 and I still have the figurine.
So that is how the story
You're gonna
ends.
die. No, no, there's more. There's more. I couldn't throw it away. It's thousands of years old. I couldn't give it back. I would have been in unbelievable trouble.
What are
If
they
I
gonna
gave it back
do?
if I gave it back now, it would look strange that it's turned up after all this time in the same town by someone who went to the same school. I've never told anyone about this figurine. No one else has ever seen it. I have no idea what I'll ever do with it, but that's my confession. Museum thief and of an ancient artifact at 7 years old. There's an edit actually at the bottom. Just to let
Uh-huh.
everyone know, thanks for your comments. I did the right thing and returned the figurine to the museum. I did it anonymously from a different city. I hope they receive it. I feel a lot better. Thank you. Wow, 31 7 to 31. That's a long time.
Oh my wow. I thank God they returned it at the end, but
Yeah.
also like the fact that what I kind of don't get is as a child, where did they hit it? Because the
Oh, I like in
parents,
a
I feel like your
shoebox under their
parents
bed.
find everything. No, I am an immigrant. My parents, I had no privacy. They everything I owned, they owned.
Really? I found
Yeah.
I had, like, little hiding spots for everything. I feel like when
No.
you're a kid, you can get creative. I don't know.
What's your most creative hiding spot?
I wouldn't be a creative hiding spot if I gave away my secrets.
I could tell a really funny one. So there's this
Mm,
there's this really famous Eastern European candy. I think it's a Polish
uh,
candy, but it's called pticie moloko. I'm saying it in Russian. It means
mm,
bird's milk. It's basically like a
oh,
light, fluffy marshmallow coated in chocolate. Speaking of, next time I'm in LA, I can probably buy a box if you want to try them. They're so good.
yeah,
They're so good.
please.
So I would be sitting in the kitchen table, like at the kitchen table in Ukraine. I would sit under the table so I could like enjoy the adults' conversation, but kind of hang out. And the
Mhm,
table, you know how it has those little, I guess, ledges. And
mhm.
at one point, I remember my grandma was like, "Oh, you guys ate all the like bird's milk candy. There's no more." It's like, "Wait, grandma, I'm gonna go get it from my spot." And then I took it out. She goes, "Where was it?" And then I told her that I just put the candy like under the table for the last 7 days. She was like, "You know what, baby? It's fine. I don't want the candy." I just, like, kept the candy hidden, like, on a little ledge under the table for weeks. I think it was, like, a week and a half or
Oh,
something.
no. I
Yeah,
bet it
so
was so spoiled.
no, 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 luckily because of, like, the chocolate and the everything, but, yeah, it probably, like, melted a bit. It's hot in the
Yeah.
summers, right? Like, it's also
Mhm.
kinda grimy. What if they're like, that's how you get ants, right? That's how you get
Mm.
bugs. I would know,
Yeah,
I'm a bug.
you were just hiding those away.
I
Who
was just
knows?
hiding them on and, like, it's
You were a
such a
bug
silly
hiding away your
spot.
treasures,
But if you think about
even at
it,
a young age.
nobody would ever find anything in that spot because what adult would go under the
Mm.
table like that?
So true.
But
That's actually
me.
goated.
Yeah,
So
with the
true.
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's so funny.
that was one of my hiding spots. All right, for my story, I got $7 left. I
Mm.
think I'm gonna spend it on a big story. I think
Go
I'm gonna spend
ahead.
it on a big one. So my big stories, I have this one that I looked at because I like the way it is titled. It is titled, it is gonna be a long one, so get ready,
Okay.
buckle up.
I'm buckled in.
A childhood mistake, a
Oh,
ruined Gengar, and a lie that lasted years.
Gengar, like the Pokemon?
Yeah. I have a
Okay,
feeling it might
okay.
have to do with like Pokemon cards. I have a feeling they probably like
Oh,
because I know that
see?
happened a lot as a kid where like you'd ruin someone's Charizard card or stuff like
Um,
that. It's probably about Pokemon cards.
yeah, that's so fair.
I could be wrong.
Mhm.
Okay.
We'll find out.
When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I was hanging out at my friend's house. Let's call him Jimbo James. I'm going to start calling him JJ from now on. This
JJ.
was the
Mhm.
first time hanging out at a friend's house. Uh, this was the first time hanging out at a friend's house ever. We were having a blast playing co-op Lego Star Wars, aw, and Super Monkey Ball, showing off Pokemon cards to each other. Uh, Especially our favorite and most rare. For me, it was my Ride-On basic card, but my favorite, and for JJ, it was this Hollow Gym Challenge Sabrina's Gengar card. I don't think
Ooh.
he knew the rarity of it at the time, but it was the Japanese writing on it that made it seem so special to him, as neither of us have ever seen any Pokemon cards with Japanese writing on it. He also just
Mm.
loved Gengar. Ooh,
Yeah. I remember I had some Japanese cards that I traded, and they were, like, the
right,
most precious to me, so I was like, "They have
right.
to be really rare."
When in fact, like they're just in Japanese, but you know
They're
that
yeah, they're
meme
just
of
in
like
Japanese, I know, my whole
7-Eleven, but in Japan, coffee, but in Japan, Gengar, but
yeah,
in
yeah, but in
Japanese.
Japan, yeah.
hmm Everything was going great until right about maybe 2 hours in when the urge to pee started to hit me. Now it's important to note that I did and to a lesser extent still do suffer from severe anxiety disorders. So asking where the bathroom is, poor baby, was terrifying for
Oh.
me. So instead of doing the rational thing, I just sat there holding it in for about an hour.
Oh, no.
no. This is such a relatable child experience.
I have a feeling I know where this is going, but I really hope it's not going the way I
Mhm.
think it's going.
My bladder felt like it was
Oh, no, it
I
isn't
think
going
the
the way I'm
show is gonna I think the show is gonna end up me like revealing all the embarrassing things I did as a child. Um to every guest until the guests are like more and more horrified. It's gonna be my confessions. I have a confession after this.
Yeah. Waiting, bated
My
breath.
bladder felt like it was going to explode and the pain surging through my midsection like somebody was strangling my guts. I knew what I had to do,
Ooh.
but was crippled with the rational fear of asking to use the bathroom. So when Jimbo James went to use the bathroom himself to drop off some paperwork, okay, knowing I had to go and fearing peeing my pants, I had to do something. Knowing I couldn't pee outside because JJ's mother was gardening out front and his sister was having a pool party in the backyard. Oh my God, they're all going crazy. I saw a little opportunity and felt doomed to pee my pants and be humiliated for the rest of my life.
Oh,
I
no.
started looking around the room and saw the shoebox.
Oh, no.
Totally knowing the
Why?
pee wouldn't break the box. Wait, is that true? I've never peed in a shoebox, so I don't
I've also
know.
never peed in the shoebox. I don't know either.
But I feel like,
It's cardboard, so you'd
but
think it
would
would.
it could like seep through, no?
I mean, there's 7 or 8 in this story, so, like,
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
they might not know.
I rushed to it, opened it up, and opened the floodgates. My brief feeling of relief has only been met by sheer terror when I realized what exactly was in the box. It's Pokemon cards! And atop the pile was his prized Gengar, now drenched in a pool of putrid liquid waste. Full of fear, guilt, and panic, I was stuck with crime. Stuck with crime. I haven't a clue how to get away with. I mean, I could just tell JJ, hey man, I couldn't just tell JJ, hey man, I just pissed all over your Pokemon cards because I was too afraid to ask where the bathroom was anyway. Want to play Smash Brothers Melee now? With dread stabbing my heart and time running out before JJ finishes dropping off his paperwork, I first sought to hide it. Sorry, the way it is, I swear I'm good at reading. It's just that it's missing a lot of words, and then my brain is like trying to fill them in
You're good. Yeah.
because this is a
I'm
user
good.
submitted
You're
story.
doing a great job. You're
Thank
doing a
you.
great job.
You are amazing for your story, and I'm very grateful. But I'm like, sometimes it misses like an at, and I'm like, huh?
Mhm, mhm.
With dread stabbing my heart and time running out before JJ finishes dropping off his paperwork, I first sought to hide it, that is, until a fuzzy little savior came barreling into the room with a young, energetic vigor and a diamond like glimmer in its eyes. Everybody is such a good writer. It
Yeah.
was the new puppy who we'll call Mr. Ruffman. Aww.
Oh.
Mr. Ruffman had only been in the family for about a week or so and just happened that Mr. Ruffian, oh, I thought it was
Fan. Oh,
Ruffman,
rough fan.
was
Oh, yeah.
not not fully housebroken yet and was highly destructive, chewing and ripping up anything he got his little muzzle on. Also, he'd had just peed in the hallway just about 2 doors down from JJ's room, and I finally had my out. So, smart kid. I took the
Yeah.
shoebox, ripped it up a little, and some of the cards and placed them
Oh.
into surprisingly large puddle of pee-pee. Then rushed outside to talk to his mom out front, so I had an alibi for when JJ came back to see the box. I was having a
Oh, the
nice
villain.
conversation with his mother. Imagine, oh my God, poor dog, about the mums she had planted in the garden until JJ came rushing out with a sadness in his voice that still lurks in my mind to this day. His favorite card ruined with urine and with teeth marks. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, which came as a
Did you bite
surprise to
it?
me because I didn't think the dog was going to chew on pee covered cards, but he did. Okay, that's safe. Imagine the kid
Oh,
bites
that
the cards,
is
you're
yeah,
done.
that's what I thought. I was like, "Did you bite these?"
Did you bite these? That little freak, and I was off the hook. But at what cost? It plagued me for years after that. Years
Oh.
passed and we're still friends, but up until a couple of years ago, Mr. Ruffman had passed away tragically.
Oh,
Oh, feeling
no.
guilty for what happens years ago, and I also saddened by the death of Mr. Ruffian, a dog I too loved. I decided to pay tribute to Mr. Ruffian and made a sculpture of him and drove about an hour into the big city to see JJ's and deliver it in person. Aw.
Mm.
We chatted for
Aw.
about an hour about him moving into the city, his new apartment, our jobs, and so on and so forth until I handed him the sculptor I made and he was touched. And as he was getting ready to place it on the shelf, I said, "You should know there's something special about that sculpture." He stared at me, and I'm sure he thought I was going to state the obvious and say it was handmade, but it was it until I said, "Open it." And when he opened it, tears filled his eyes as he saw the one thing he had lost so many years ago, the Holo Gym Challenge Sabrina's Gengar Pokemon card, a card I destroyed years ago with my urine and blamed it on the dog he'd had lost a few weeks ago. I've never been hugged in such a way in my life, not even by my mother, not by my sister, not by any lover. Ooh.
Oh.
Not by anybody I knew. He had to add that one in there. Imagine,
Yeah, yeah,
imagine
yeah.
their lovers reading this story or being like, "Wait, you've
Wait
never,
a second.
wait a second. That's my partner." Not by anyone I knew. He really had to let the feelings out, and I knew how much it had meant to him. Driving home,
Oh.
I knew something was off. My heart, my soul, it didn't feel full. It didn't feel as if a weight had been lifted. I didn't get the warm and fuzzy feeling. A weight lingered in my heart, still felt as if an eternal winter was still raging inside it. Maybe because I knew this kind and lovely gesture of friendship and redemption wouldn't change what I did all those years ago.
Mm.
It won't cleanse my soul. It wouldn't undo the lie I told and lived with for years. I sinned. I lied. Buddy.
Oh, Jesus.
I ruined a
Oh.
relationship between a boy and his dog up until the dog's untimely demise. Untimely? Didn't you say the
He
dog
lived
lived
for a
like
long
a
time.
long
Yeah.
time? Yeah. Um, hold on. I sinned. I lied. I ruined a relationship between a boy and his dog up until the dog's untimely demise. And for that, I know I'll die a guilty man. Sorry for the long story. I didn't know exactly how to condense it into a more palatable reading. Also, my punctuation sucks, and I'm so sorry for that too. Okay, real talk. I'm so sorry for calling you out on this. I love you very much. Yeah, that's why I struggled a little bit. Also, since you said you kept putting Mr. Ruffman, but then other times you had Mr. Ruffian. So is it Mr. And you also have Mr. Raffan?
Ruffian.
So is it Mr. Ruffman,
Fun.
Mr. Raffan, or Mr. Ruffian?
A dog of many names.
A dog of many names. Don't, no judges. Honestly,
Mhm.
it kind of got me to clock in a little bit more. I had to like
Mhm.
hyper focus. Great story.
Yeah.
I do have to say, please don't beat yourself up. You were 8.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
were 8.
You were a kid.
You were a
Yeah.
kid. Like, it's scary. I do think today you could tell your friend, but also if you never tell your friend,
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you really need to
could be
complain
worse.
about everything?
Could be worse. You could have stolen an ancient artifact from thousands of years ago from a museum.
Yeah, we can brag about that guy. That story's from Reddit. That's not a Momo. Oh my god. That story is from Reddit. We can brag on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, please
Oh.
don't
Yeah,
feel
you were a
so
kid.
bad. You were a kid.
Mhm.
And I do think certain things it's like, well, like does it really
Yeah.
matter to admit to it now, you know?
No. Mata, do you remember what the most embarrassing thing you did as a kid was?
The most embarrassing, sorry, I just spilled something. The most embarrassing thing I did as a kid. I
Yeah.
think I've done a little bit of my embarrassing stories already, but if you have a
Okay.
story, hit me with one.
I have one. My little brother is 6 years younger than me.
Uh-huh.
When he was about to be born, he was still in my mom's stomach. I wanted to get out of this like quiz I think we had for the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to get out of this quiz. I was 6 years old. Because he was born when we were 6 years apart. So I was 6 years old. And I wanted to get out of this quiz. So I lied to my entire class saying that my baby brother had been born. And I was so embarrassed. The teacher threw a party. We celebrated. We sang him happy birthday in our class. And then it came time for my mom to pick me up from school.
And she was just
And
pregnant.
and she picked me up, and I got in the car and I was like, "Mom, drive, 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 drive." She's like, "What?" And the teacher was like, "Oh, like Mrs. Lee, what are you what are you doing?" My mom is visibly pregnant behind the wheel, and I was like, "Mom, drive!"
Drive! I lied.
And I had to go to school the next day and apologize to the entire class that I had lied. Yeah. So
I love that. I just feel like as a kid, you're like, yeah, I could just lie about like you don't think about it, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you're like, well, my mom's gonna give birth. Like, does it matter if
Yeah,
I say she
exactly.
gives
I didn't
birth
think about it
today?
until it was time to pick up, and I went, "I've made a horrible mistake. I've made a horrible mistake."
I I do I do know my most embarrassing childhood story,
Oh,
but
yeah?
I've told this before on stream, and I've told this to Yuzu and Onigiri in Japan. And after okay, I just need to preface this story by saying after I finished telling Yuzu and Giri, Yuzu thought I did this as a teenager. And I was like,
Okay.
are you like, I got not like for real mad, but like
Oh.
slightly like content mad where I was like, what do you think about me as a person? That you think
Mm.
I would do this when my brain is like somewhat developed? Like, really? Is that what you like? I was a little bit like, really? That's what you think about me, you know?
Right.
Um, God. it-
How old were you, though?
okay. So I was a little too old to do this, but I was also, I think I was either like just about 5 or 6
Mhm.
because we
Okay.
had just immigrated to Canada. So I was like
Mm.
either 5 or like just turned 6. My flesh father, who has passed away, my condolences, is in a wheelchair. He was in a wheelchair from like my super young age until he passed away. Quadriplegic, meaning all 4 limbs couldn't move. So he was like in bed, and when he was on his wheelchair, he wasn't like moving his fingers, right? Like he was kind of
Oh.
like, yeah, but it is what it is. And one time I was very mad at him. We got into a
Mhm.
fight. And oh my God, I've already told the story, so it's fine. But I know that after I say it, all the comments are gonna be like poo poo hands.
Oh, what?
So my flesh mother was gone. She probably went grocery shopping, or she was at the time like going to school, and she was also working part-time jobs because, you know, like you're an immigrant in a different country with a
Mhm.
paralyzed husband. So I got into a fight with my dad. I don't know over what. And I wanted him to get in trouble when my mom came home.
Oh,
So I
no.
went to the
Oh,
bathroom
no.
and I decided to like smear my poopy all over the wall. And so my mom comes home and I get in trouble. And I'm like, Dad did it. And my mom's like, are you telling me that while I was gone from the house, your father got up from his bed and like went to smear poop on the walls? And I'm like, yeah. And I believed it. I was like, yeah. I'm like, maybe he walks when you're like, as a kid, it's so dumb because I believed it. I was like, maybe he walks when you're not here. You don't know that. You're not here. How would you know if he walks when you're, and like, to be clear, like, I need you guys to understand, my father wasn't like, you know, sometimes you see people that can like move the wheel with their arm. No, 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 no. My dad was just in bed. Like, you had to bring him water. You had to, like, there is no way in hell this man is getting up to do anything. Like, never.
Oh,
And especially if he is getting up, like, it would be after like, if ever, it would be like years of physical therapy, and like, like he would not just go to he would not go to
He
the
would have
bathroom and
just
smear shit on the walls.
You're like, "I don't know, it could happen. Have you seen it happen?"
But
Oh,
when
Jesus.
no, when I told this story in Japan to Yuzu and Giri, she thought I was like, I was like, she basically thought I was a teenager, and I was like, wait, how old did you think I was? She's like, I don't know, 17.
That's so
Am I allowed to be offended? Like, I'm allowed to be like, what? Like, what the fuck do you mean you thought I was 17?
5'6" is so much more believable. Yeah,
Like,
17 is I'm not sure. I'm not
if
sure
I'm
if
upset
we
at my father at 17, I'm going to be doing other stunts than smearing shit on the walls and pretending he did it. And the worst part is I was a repeat offender. When I was in Ukraine, my grandma, my flesh mother's mother, pissed me off one time, and I smeared lipstick on the walls. And then I said, Grandma did it. And then my mom was like, are you sure Grandma did it? And I said, Grandma is mad at me, so she's trying to get me in trouble with you. Which is
Matara,
crazy. Yeah.
you should do a finger paint stream so you can just smear some more crap all over.
But it's like, I was looking my mother in her face, and I was like, yeah, maybe he gets up and walks when you're not here. How would you know you're not here?
I love that.
Like, what kind of delusions were
Wrong
going on in my,
Sherlock. All right.
Baby brain. Oh my god. And like I believed it.
Uh,
I believed it.
so
And
funny.
I might, you know what? If some of you do have like anonymous YouTube accounts that aren't like first name, last name, let me know your
Mm.
embarrassing stories as well.
Yeah. I wanna read
Amalee?
them in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah. You
We gotta
have
share ours.
$2
I
left. Your
have
last story
$2.
for today. It's actually
Okay,
crazy.
okay.
We were gonna try and have this episode be short, but it ended up like the time flew by.
It really did.
Our last story tonight,
Um,
Amalee.
let's do a short one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, let's see. Should I read the "My boyfriend won't make noodles the way I like"?
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I say it's a good one
Yeah,
because I like the title.
it does seem a little long though. It doesn't. It's
You
a
can
long
pick a
one.
you can take a look at length if you wanna
Yeah,
go and
yeah.
like I think if you even like click look at length like 1 or 2.
Length one. Oh, I see.
Mhm.
Uh, oh
Oh,
no.
it's a short one. My boyfriend won't make me noodles.
Really?
Yeah. It's because it's like written in that format. Oh wait, whoa, wait, that
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
long
like the
story. Oh,
pages.
that
Yeah.
does not look short. Never mind, never mind. Oh.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, am I looking at the right one? Length. There's one that's length one. Okay. This one is this one's gonna be drama. Okay, this one is short. Okay. God, TIFU. I never know what this stands for.
Today I
By
fucked up.
texting today I fucked up by telling my pregnant wife that this
Mm,
isn't working.
my God.
Ooh, uh-oh. Okay. I went to work today and
Why would
turned
you
my
end this
phone
with a
off.
sad story, girl? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go
Should
on.
I do a different one?
No, 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 no. We
Okay.
reap what we sow.
Okay. Uh-oh. I went to work today and turned my phone off as usual. I had almost 30
Mm.
missed texts and calls from my pregnant wife when I turned it on. Most of them were asking how I could do this. I had no clue what she was talking about. Didn't answer any of my calls back. Uh-oh. I got home and she was packing up to leave.
Oh,
I'll admit it, I cried a lot. Had
yeah.
n yeah, had no clue what was happening or what I did. Finally, it comes out that I texted her that I wanted a divorce.
Oh my God.
She
Oh my
showed
God.
me the text, and I immediately realized what happened. Oh, no.
Oh, thank
This
God
is
it's a misunderstanding.
yeah.
Oh,
This morning, a freestanding mirror for our bedroom was delivered. I texted her, quote, "The new mirror came in. I'm going to try to put it together, but I may need your
oh.
help later." I had trouble putting it together and eventually gave up. I texted her, "This isn't working." And at this point, I think I need to just give up.
Before
Apparently.
people
Oh,
jump to conclusions, apparently, I've never been pregnant, but apparently, like, baby brain is a thing. Where, like, your
yeah.
brain just jumps to apparently, that is a
Yeah.
thing. Go on.
You're overthinking every
And
single little thing.
overstimulated,
Yeah.
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 Aw.
Yeah. You're tired
Oh,
and in pain.
oh
Yeah.
no. Can you reread what
Apparently,
he said?
yeah.
Sorry, what was the quote that he said
Okay.
exactly?
So, I texted her, "This isn't working, and at this point, I think I need to just give up." Apparently, the first text didn't go through, just the second one. So
No.
the text about saying, like, "I'm putting the mirror together," and then that one didn't go through, but the second one of saying,
Oh.
This isn't working," went through. So my pregnant wife panicked for a few hours while I was off thinking everything was great. She even called a divorce lawyer. Oh, things are fine now, but she's still crying off and on. She told me we can laugh about it tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
Oh.
one of those that you, like, take a day before you can laugh about it. Oh,
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, she even called a divorce lawyer. Oh, no."
this is
Oh,
yeah,
I'm glad you guys can laugh about it.
I
Oh,
oh
man.
my God.
That's honestly, there's been some nightmare up in the service zone. I've noticed text not going through. It's not just you. I think it's like everything everywhere.
Man,
Ah, technology
miscommunication is the bane of my existence as well.
truly
Because
is.
sometimes on text, somebody will like somebody will say something, right? Like I was talking
Yeah.
to a friend about something not long ago, and I mentioned like I was asking about like some stuff, and they're like, "Why are you asking me all these questions?" But then there's the thing of like, "Why are you asking me all these questions?"
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
why are you
Oh,
asking
no.
me all these questions, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then also like, what if my mood? What if that day I'm feeling kind of sensitive because maybe I got into a fight with my roommates, and I'm like, "What do you
Yeah.
mean? I'm asking
Yeah.
questions because I want to talk to you because I care because I'm curious about your day."
Yeah. No, I
Oh.
I had a friend like this, and, I called them and I was like, "Can you just start using emojis when you text me? Like, if you're happy, like, because you use a lot of periods, you never use an exclamation point." And so she'll text me being like, "That's fine, period." And then the next tweet will be like a little smiley face and a heart.
Have you
Fine.
noticed, like, when I write, "Ha ha ha, lol," million smileys, million
Oh,
emojis, because otherwise, like,
me? Yeah.
yeah, I look angry.
I go, "Yee," instead of like, "Yes, sure." I
I
go,
go,
"Yee."
"Yippee, yeah, yeah, yeah." I've had this before with I surround myself with people that I know will tell me the truth, even if it's a little bit
Mhm.
rough. But my
Yeah.
assistant, Teek, if you're listening, I love you. I've worked with them for 8+ years. If I'm wrong
Mhm.
or if I need to hear it, they'll tell me. But also, they're a little bit monotone and very much like dry. So
It's
some
to the
days
point.
they'll tell me something completely valid, but I'll be like, "I'm on my period. Can you say that again, but nicer?" But we've developed
The
a
"Can
thing
you
now,
use
right?
more
Yeah, where
emojis?"
instead of that's I think it's important to communicate that, right? Where instead of
Yeah.
me just being like, "Oh, why is my assistant being a freaking bitch today?" Blah, blah, blah. Instead of like, "Hey,
Mhm.
I'm having a really bad day. Could you please say it again,
Yeah.
but gentler?" Even sometimes
Can
with
you
my
be more
roommate,
goofy?
she'll use her a tone. She's not mad at me, but she just uses a mad tone. I'll be like,
Oh.
"Can you talk a little gentler, please? I'm having a rough day."
No, I everyone knows that I'm a sensitive fish, and so they're like, it's there, there. There, 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 there.
I mean, I do this thing where like when I have like a focused face. When I talk,
Mhm.
I don't think I'm a very intimidating woman. Do you? Do you think I'm an intimidating woman?
I think if I didn't know you, I might think that you're intimidating, only because you're, like, super successful and you always have your shit together, and but now that I know you,
I'm
I
a little bit
you're
pathetic.
no, 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 you just have your heart on your sleeve and you are sweet, but, like, I don't know.
I just have
It's
this
like that yeah.
face that I do, especially when like I think you see it sometimes if we're like having funny conversations and then I switch to business talk, I like squint
Huh.
my eyes a little bit because I can't, but it's because
Mhm.
in order for me to hear better, I have to squint my eyes. That I like, if we're
Yeah.
talking serious, I kind of do like a resting bitch face and people
Mm.
think I'm so mad, but no, I'm just listening.
No, you just have, like, a confident aura to you, and sometimes I find that intimidating, and the best story I have is
Oh my God.
when I met you at AX,
Yeah. Oh my
and
God.
you
Go
were
ahead.
wearing that gorgeous dress. I've told this story before,
I want
Momos,
to
but
hear it from your
I
POV.
I knew Matara was going to be at AX, I didn't know when or
Anime
where, but I went
Expo
to
for
go pick
anybody wondering. Big anime
Oh,
expo.
yeah, Anime Expo, huge, huge anime convention.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
went early to go pick up my badge, and I saw this girl, this beautiful girl, blonde hair in, ooh, can I say that?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
say
you're fine.
that?
I Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think at that point I haven't even dyed my hair. Yeah, you can say blonde hair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
My
Okay,
the
beautiful
woman
blonde
whose
hair.
body I live inside had blonde
Yeah.
hair at the time.
We have said that we're, like, matching hair every once
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
while,
yeah, yeah.
so that makes sense.
They know I have red
And
hair now.
yeah, you had this, like, gorgeous dress on, and I walked around you guys, and I was like, "That woman is so pretty." And I didn't say anything because I was, like, intimidated, and then as I was walking by, I heard,
Wait,
"Ah," and I turned
You
around.
just cut out. You just
No.
screamed and it cut out.
Oh, I heard, "Amma,
Mhm.
Amma," and I turned around, and I was like, "It's the beautiful woman in the dress!" And I was like, "That's Matara. Oh my god." It was amazing. Anyways, but yeah, that's the example I wanna
That
give
makes me
is,
so happy. I love
yeah.
you.
You just have an aura about you. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Mhm.
because I can't see from far. I don't wear glasses and I walk very fast. So everyone's always like, wow, look at her. And I'm like, la, la, la. In my head, I'm like, do, 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 do,
Mm.
do. Will you
Yeah, yeah.
bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on? I'm like singing 9 Inch Nails and like rocking out.
I love it.
That is the best. I love it where you're like, wow, this lady, and it's me. I'm the
Oh, I
lady.
know. I was like, I was like, what is happening? It was so funny.
I have a funny story. One time I was out for tacos with Project Melody, and
Mhm.
we were having like a really funny conversation, and then she was like, "Oh, I have to like I forget what happened, but we just changed topics to something more serious." So I kind of locked in, I like kind of shifted in my chair. I gave her a look, and she was like, "Wait, are you okay to talk about this? Is this okay?" And she was panicking. I'm like, "Wait, what?" Because she was intimidated by like the sudden like tonal shift, and I was like, "Oh no, that's just me like giving you my serious attention face."
Yeah. Oh, we're all sensitive fish
Oh, well,
deep
since
inside.
you said that story, I'm gonna tell my story about you that I
Mm.
really, really love, and then we're gonna wrap it up because
Okay,
this
sounds good.
we said, by the way, everybody, that we were gonna try to make this like a 45-minute episode, and I guess
Mm.
we'll see when it gets released how much time
How
we're
long it
at.
is. Yeah.
Um, my story that I adore about you, we met up in LA like 3 years ago, I think at this point, like
Oh
three
my
summers
god.
ago, and we went to a
Shit.
really nice place that I want to go more often. It's like
Yeah.
I know you showed it to me, but it's our place now. I
Yeah.
decided,
Very nice. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was talking to you. So for anybody that doesn't know, Amalee is also a voice actress, and she's been doing anime covers online for like 15 plus years. If you've
Mhm.
ever
Oh,
listened to an English anime cover, you have most likely seen Amalee's stuff.
I'm in the walls.
You are. So I was talking that I was actually looking to go to a trip to Antarctica because I was watching an anime with Mint called Yorimoy, or A Place Further Than the Universe. And I'm kind of talking about this anime to Amalee. And she goes, "Wait, I think I voice acted in that." And then she Googles herself and goes, "Yeah, I voice acted that. I voice acted this character." It was the
So
biggest
funny.
flex. But you like, and you do it so casually. And you've explained before that sometimes when you go and you audition for roles, you don't even really know what it's for. It's like
Mhm.
character B, mature woman, character A, like,
Mhm.
Valley girl personality. So sometimes you don't even really know every single thing that you've been casted in, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you were talking about it, and I was like, "This plot's so
yeah.
familiar
Like,
to me.
wait a second.
It's like I've watched it or or something."
It was such a flex. I just see her like look it up on her phone, basically look herself up. Like, do you remember what you looked up? Were you like, Amalee voice acting Yori Moy?
I I went to my, like, behind the voice actors, I think, and, like, scrolled through my roles, and I was like, "Was it this?
Mm.
Was
I
this the
love that.
one?"
It is my favorite. Whenever I tell people about you that don't know you, I always give this flex. And now I have another flex where it's like you just always working every single time. You'll go out for like a drink or you'll do something. You're like, all right, back home. I gotta go home. And like, I don't know how you do it. You'll have an hour. You're like, I can do harmonies. I can do,
Yeah,
I can start writing
work a
this
little bit.
project.
You too, though. Every time I talk to you, you're working on some big project, so I'm excited to see what you have on the
That's because
books.
I'm just yapping a lot. You know what I did today, Amelie? I went for a 3 hour walk.
I
All
love
right.
that.
And I
The
wish it was a
6-hour hike,
6.
girl.
Yeah, no, that's you joke, but that's me. That I am that person.
Oh.
Do
Mhm,
not
mhm.
go hiking with me in LA. Or set a time
1, 2
limit.
hours
Set a
max.
time limit or I will do an all day. Would you
Oh,
have any
Lord.
parting words with us? Anywhere we can find you? Anywhere, anything you're working on?
Ah.
Anything you're streaming?
Yeah, hello, hello. You can find me like everywhere under Lee and Lie. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all of the things. That is my handle on everything. But yeah, come by to stream sometime. I'd love to say
Yeah.
hi.
And we do
Yeah, I
quite a
hope you
few
have
collabs.
yeah, we do so many collabs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
I
hope you have so
think
much fun
oh my
with
god.
other episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I will. Thank you again so much for being my little guinea pig. I really
Mm,
appreciate it. We
of
were kind of
course.
like setting up and again, I still think for everybody listening and watching, a little bit of the premise might change, but something that I think is really important to me is us kind of live reacting to the stories as we're talking about
Mhm.
them. But let me know. Maybe everyone's gonna be like, "Shut up! I just want the story. Stop laughing and interrupting." You never know. We'll have to
Yeah.
find out. We'll have to see. But
Mhm,
thank you
mhm,
so
mhm.
much, Ama, and bye bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for listening.
watching.